Alright, so we are back for another video, and today we're going to be checking out the Salnotes Dioko. So another planar IEM for 2022. So we're seeing a lot more of those, and that is really interesting because $100 here, and collaboration from Critical as well, and having a planar driver as well will give you a different sound to the ear. But actually here in the channel, so I have seen some other planars, but particularly there's no one planar that really blew my mind. But will this change my mind? Of course, we're gonna find out in this video. Alright, so looking at the box itself, it's actually pretty nicely packaged here. This is the first Salnotes that I'm checking out in the channel, and that's interesting that I actually have seen this in mecha stores. This is the only IEM that I have. I think Critical has friends there, so that's really interesting. I was able to listen to this for quite a short time, and yeah, I was actually surprised of the listen because it's a bit different compared to some other planars that I have checked. So this is the box that you're getting. And actually, I already did open it up, but I want to open it up with you because I would love to show you guys what's inside here. So I actually do like the package here because if you guys can see, in the whole box, you're getting a whole case here. And this might be one of the biggest cases that I've seen, and definitely for $100, having this case definitely really surprising. So actually prefer this because for some other packages, there's a lot of wasted materials there, but here, it's just the whole case, and you're paying for this, and this will definitely be usable. Opening it up, and this is what you're getting inside, and look at that, it's actually really protected here. So it has some maybe foams, and yeah, the IEM is supposed to be inside, but we already have it outside here. You're getting some tips as well in different colors and different shapes as well. The case might be one of the most premium that I have seen, especially for the $100 range. And yeah, even this, if you guys can see, it's a bit more maybe felt or velour kind of shape or texture, so that's really nice. So this will protect your IEMs. Even for more expensive IEMs, this might be a really good case, and really hard here as well. So yeah, really impressed on this. This is one of my favorite packages. I do prefer this, like give us a really nice case, and keep the box empty. That's fine with me, but give me a really nice case. Looking at the cable here, actually very impressive for $100 here. It's kind of thick, and feels really nice as well, kind of glossy. It's brown in color, but on the weight and the feel in the hand, I'm definitely really one of the better ones in that price range. And looking at the build quality of the lobes, this is definitely the most stylish planar that I've seen yet. This is my favorite looking planar. So it's actually quite big on the ear, but it's just the outside that's big. But when you look at the inside of it, it's maybe a typical IEM shape. So it's just maybe a moondrop type of shape, but with a bigger maybe outside protector there. You're getting the maybe purple color at the side, and has some gloss as well. Maybe the first time that I've seen maybe a glass finish at the side. That definitely looks good, especially for the $100 price range. One of the better ones that I've seen, or one of the best ones that I've seen in terms of the overall look. Actually, for me, the look punches above its weight, so it doesn't feel like this is a $100 IEM. So this is what it looks like. So as you guys can see, it's not that big when you look at it from the front, but on the side it's definitely quite sizable there. Definitely unique looking IEM. Of course, love and hate kind of thing. It will depend on you if you like this or not. This will definitely be more of a maybe casual listening pair for maybe some stage monitoring. This might look too big on the ear for you. So actually the fit on the ear for me very similar to a moondrop type of fit. So the insides is like a typical IEM. It's just the outer case that's big. So the fit is really good for me here overall. Kind of snug, but just snug enough for me. And yeah, the comfort is actually quite okay as well. So it's in the heavier side, but not too heavy, so not a big issue for me. And the isolation as well, actually pretty good. So it does isolate quite well. I would say more so compared to maybe some other maybe moondrops, because maybe the insertion to the ear is a bit maybe more compared to some other moondrops here, but not that much. So actually maybe just one downside for me is that big maybe circle at the side, maybe for some ears, maybe for some smaller ears, but maybe that's just one con that I can think of. But overall, I would say it punches above its weight in the overall look. But of course, we're not here for the looks, we're here for the sound. So we're gonna listen to some tunes. We have the Kabali Tube Hybrid with the Grease S DAC for our listen today. But first, let's go to the signature, comparing it to the P1 Max, which is my previous maybe favorite planar in the channel. So comparing it to the P1 Max, so the P1 Max, the bass and the signature is a bit more toned down, especially in the sub bass region. And on top as well, if you guys can see, the P1 Max has more toned down 12K and a bit more toned down 5K as well. Comparing it to the Choco is definitely more V type of shape, a lot more treble on top, and also the 4K is more elevated as well. And as you guys can see in the sub-bass region, it's definitely a lot more elevated there, so maybe around 5-10 dB more elevated in the sub-bass region in the signature anyways. So this is kind of like a bright U type of signature in the Joko. But of course, let's listen to some tunes. Let's try to listen to some I Shot the Sheriff by Eric Clapton. So first impressions here, one thing that really hit me is definitely the treble on top. So a lot of maybe shine here on top. So comparing it to the P1 Max, the P1 Max will be more maybe warmer to listen to overall. This is a bit more open, a bit more maybe clarity focus in the overall presentation. Maybe this is a bit cleaner as well compared to what you're getting with the P1 Max. So the presentation here is clean, fast, and clarity as well, lots of clarity on top here. Actually, the bass here, even if it measures like this, is actually not that much in the mix. So the bass is definitely more prominent for me in the P1 Max over this. The bass here is definitely more toned down. So overall for me, actually the presentation is more of a monitor type of presentation. So it has that liveliness in the overall sound. Of course, because of that V type of signature, and lots of clarity as well on top. So clarity focused monitor type of presentation, and really fast as well. This definitely has that energy, definitely has that speed. So I can see me using this for some monitoring work. But let's try to listen to some bass here. Let's try some 24K Magic by Bruno Mars. So going to the bass, tight in the presentation here. So compared to some Tina Hi-Fis, this might be the most toned down bass that I've listened to. So really controlled in the mix, no mid-bass bleed for me. Definitely has that planar slam that you were looking for, that fast planar slam. This doesn't go as deep as your maybe dynamic driver presentation. This doesn't have that maybe percussiveness of dynamic drivers. This is a bit more maybe rounded off in that regard, but really fast in the presentation here. This is definitely one of the unique selling points for me of Planars. The bass definitely unique for me in the mix. So even for my headphone Planars, there's a different presentation here. You should be able to listen to this. And yeah, this is not a bassy pair. So even if this measures like this is not a bass heads. The bass here is really quite controlled for me in the mix. Let's go to some vocals. Let's try some Less Groove by Earth, Wind & Fire. So going to some vocals here. So definitely it's recess in the mix, and it's noticeable in the mix here. But one of the key things that I noticed here is the micro detail. Definitely really nice micro detail in the mix here. So definitely one of the unique selling points of Planars in general. You can definitely hear that nuance in the sound. Lots of micro detail on top here. The resolution is definitely there. So like for example here in Let's Groove by Earth, Wind & Fire. So the presentation is really fast for me in the mix. Raspiness in the voice definitely resolves it. Definitely one of the unique selling points here. The presentation is in the cleaner side of things, but compared to some other BAs, this is a bit more maybe smooth in the presentation. And for me, the vocals as well, even if it's recessed in the mix, it's still quite clear for me in the mix. It's more of a brighter vocal presentation, maybe because of that maybe 5K elevation. So it's more of still a brighter vocal presentation here for me, and really clear vocal for me. Even for some female vocals, so the positioning is recessed in the mix as well, but still quite clear for me in the mix. If maybe there's just one issue for me, yeah, this is sometimes my issue with Planars. Tonally, the presentation is not that natural for me. That's that maybe glassy nature in the sound. Yeah, I'm looking for still maybe a bit more maybe smoothness in the overall sound here, maybe a bit more rounded off presentation. Definitely different compared to some dynamic drivers. So that's definitely one downside. So yeah, I would say yeah, the presentation, the accuracy is not the most accurate here. So even if you have that speed, tonality sometimes or presentation gets a hit. Let us try some Joe Satriani jumping in. Now going to the top end, again that micro detail, really nice for me in the mix, and really extended here on top. It's in the cleaner side of presentation as well, kind of very monitor type of presentation. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of shine here, a lot of shimmer for me on top. So it sounds open to listen to. A lot of treble for some guitars. This will feel really open for me in the mix. For some acoustic tracks, this will feel really open for me to listen to. Andy McKee, Trite Night, gonna be really open to listen to. Some Toe even. For some instrumentals, gonna be really open to listen to. For some jazz, gonna be really nice here. So yeah, the treble here, it's kind of like the highlight in the mix, but it's kind of like a love and hate thing for me, because yeah, it has that micro detail, it has that really nice extension here on top. For treble heads, you will like the overall listen here, but on the other side, the body and the cymbals for me is still not the best here. So like for example here in I Shot the Sheriff, Eric Clapton, I find the cymbals to have that splash for me, a bit too splashy for my liking, and that's really noticeable for me in the mix. And that might turn some people off, especially if you like maybe body in the cymbals, especially Actually, for me, the top end, I like the P1 Max more in that regard. The top end is a bit more rounded off. Better body in the cymbals in the P1 Max. Yeah, but definitely, pros and cons here. The P1 Max is a bit more rounded off on top. But the Salnotes Dioko will give you a bit more open sound there, a bit more maybe clarity in the overall presentation. Right, so going to some soundstage, above average here, not the biggest that I've heard. Going to some separation, really good here because of that maybe clean nature in the sound, fast as well. Even the bass is really fast. So yeah, the presentation for the separation is really nice for me. Micro detail, really nice here. So for the $100 price range, this is one of the better ones that you can get for sure, or one of the best ones that you can get. So especially for a planar, actually this may be the cheapest planar that we are checking out in the channel. And yeah, definitely for that price range, this is one of the best micro detail that you can get for $100. All right, so do I like this more compared to the maybe P1 Max? So side by side listen. Of course, this is times 2 the price, but I do like the P1 Max over what you're getting with the Salnotes Dioko. But I would have to say the Salnotes Dioko compared to some other P1s, the P1 that I reviewed before, I actually like this already compared to the previous versions of the P1. So yeah, I like that the overall presentation has that maybe more toned down bass. So this might be one of the most toned down basses for a planar that I've seen. I like that you have a lot of micro detail clarity in the overall presentation. Vocals really clear, and lots of guitar micro detail here as well. So if you are looking for a monitor type of IEM that has really good micro detail for $100, this is definitely one of your best bet in that card, and having not that much bass if you are into that. This is one of the better ones that you can see, having that bright hue type of signature. Build quality is really nice as well. Maybe one of the best that I've seen in the $100 price range, in the package as well, having that case really nice here. So yeah, for those type of people, this would definitely be a really enjoyable product. So actually for this, I have tried this out already with different players, and this also player picky actually. So some players, this is really nice. It will depend as well in the players that you are listening to. So some neutral players and also maybe warmer players are really nice on this. More aggressive players, I didn't particularly like it. And also I do like this with maybe warmer, bit smoother type of players. So it will depend on the players. So if you are able to find the perfect pairing for this, you will definitely enjoy this. But do consider the cons that I mentioned. With IEMs, there's always a trade-off, pros and cons. So if the cons doesn't mean much to you, this is definitely a really nice pick for the $100 price range. Alright, so that's my take with the Salnotes Dioko and planar awards for 2022. I wish I can see more planars for 2022, because I would love to see higher tier ones. That's my look with the Salnotes Dioko. Have you listened to this? What do you think of it? Do you like it, not like it? Do you love planars presentation? Do you have headphone planars as well? Let me know down in the comments below what do you think of them. Of course, thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.